Adobe Express versus Canva, here we go. And to be clear, this video is not about which one's better, but really to cover which Adobe features can we do in Canva. I'm about any tool that helps bring out the creative spirit, and both of these are great options. So I found this awesome video that covers features that can be done in Adobe Express. So I'm going to test out these features today, and we'll cover the rest in a mini series. Let's get right into it. So here we are in Canva. The first feature that the video covers is something called Video Clip Maker. It's taking like your long form videos and chopping it up or editing it down to like smaller clips, which is something you can totally do in Canva. I'm just gonna open a blank project here. I'm gonna do video landscape. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna bring one of my old videos I imported and bring it into this the blank sheet right here. So let me find one right now.
Hi, I'm Vince and welcome to my channel.
So this is the video that I found here. If I wanted to like kind of break it down or like clip it up, I would just click on it right here, hit edit, and over here it's called highlights. So I'm gonna click on highlights and it's gonna do its thing. So there's a quick edit there. It automatically just clipped up my file here, or my long form video. It turned into 3 pieces here. So there's this 2-second piece, a 6-second video here, and a 10-second video here. So you can kind of see the one where it's not grayed out. That's what's active as far as the clips that were cut out. So kind of see what it looks like here.
Hi, I'm Vince and welcome to my channel. Some of my latest flings are
from here. If I did want to make a video out of it, I would just click on each one on here and then hit add selection to design. What it's going to do is going to create these 3 different pages here. So there's the first one, here's the second one, here's the third one. So that's what it looks like right there. And kind of the second step to this is, you know, when you do these types of short clip video, kind of the cool thing to do right now is adding captions to it. So how you do captions, if you go over here to the left hand side, mine's all the way down here, there it is. And so I'm just gonna make sure that everything is checked right here. So it only takes us 1 file still. That's cool. And then it's checked. I'm gonna hit generate captions. It's gonna do its thing. So that only took a few seconds, which is really cool. So you can see the auto-generate captions right here. If you wanted to kind of move things around, so let's say I wanted to move this, you know, do a little editing here, and then I want to change what this caption looks like. All you have to do is kind of go into effects. You change around the font if you want. So let's say I want to do a neon effect. I can click on neon, so I can't really see it there, but then I could change it to like a different color, so it's a little more visible there. So I could totally do that. And then let's see if there's other effects I could add to it as well, or change it around. So let's just do the background. That's a little bit more easier to see. So that's one way you can do captions here. So you have your clipping of videos on top of adding captions. So it makes it really easy to kind of format and make kind of shorter form videos if you want to do that way. So yeah, you could totally do the video clip maker plus captions within Canva. So great tool to have. So the next feature I'm going to cover is something called profile photo. If you wanted to have like a headshot for your social medias or just in general, you can totally do that within Canva. I'm over here in the search box. I'm just going to type in profile photo. And you can see here, there's a lot of templates you could use here. So let's just say I want to use one of these templates here. I could totally do that. I'm going to go in here, customize this template. It's going to open up a new one for me here. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is, this picture is just 2 different elements here. So there's the background and then there's this person right here. I'm just going to go ahead and click on it, hit delete. So this is actually a border frame right here. I'm gonna find a photo of myself that I want to put in there. This is the photo that I want. So I'm just gonna literally just click on it and it goes right into the border frame. Double click on it, center it a little bit right there, hit done. And then from here, I'm also gonna hit BG remover to remove that background. Kind of see what happens there. So that's a way right there, and I instantaneously have a profile picture, which is really cool. Again, there's a lot of templates you can use for this here, so definitely you can pick and choose which one you want. If you did want to do it a separate way, like from scratch, you can do that as well, so you don't have to use this one here. So yes, definitely there are multiple ways doing profile photos in Canva. A lot of cool options to have here and really easy to do. So the next feature I'm going to cover is something about social media posting. So if you do have your Canva account linked to your social medias or like one of your different social media accounts, it's about posting on there. So this is where I think Adobe Express has the leg up on Canva. I wasn't able to find the feature directly, so and correct me if I'm wrong otherwise, but I was not able to do the features that Adobe Express has, which is one is to change a thumbnail. If I want to change a thumbnail of my, of my Instagram Reel or YouTube Short, And also there's something called a first comment ability there. So that's not having like the first comment within that post. So I was not able to do that. You know, if I go into Facebook right here, you know, if I wanted to like post it into this, you know, this Facebook page here, only thing I can do is just update the description. But in Adobe Express, I was able to change the thumbnail if I wanted to move it to like a different position, you know, within the post, and also the first comment. So I did not have that ability either. So long story short, in Canva, I was not able to change the thumbnail or have a first comment ability for my social media post. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, leave a comment below, but I was not able to do this. All right, moving on to the next feature, something called accessibility, which is really important when it comes to like being able to understand your videos for like, you know, different audiences. It's like things like adding closed captioning, or tags. So one thing that Canva is able to do, just like Adobe Express, is having those accessibility options. So what I have here, just my video that I was worked on before, and what I'm going to do is go to File and Accessibility. That's where you want to see. So there's this check design accessibility here. You're gonna hit that, and it's gonna do all this little automatic checks here. So these are the accessibility features I was talking about. So it's like typography, color contrast, those are all good here, but this alternative text here, what I want to do is add an alternative text. So I could just put a little description being like, so I updated the alt text here, just put this little description here, and then I'm gonna hit save, and there's your accessibility. So really easy to do, just to make sure that you know, your videos or your files are, you know, have the right tags attached to them as well. So really cool one to do. So yeah, absolutely, you are able to do alt text plus accessibility options within Canva. So the last feature I'm going to cover today is something called record yourself, which is a nice little feature. So let's say you had a presentation and you want to have like your face showing on the presentation as well. How you do that, and you're able to do that in Canva, is you go to uploads here, and there's this button that says record yourself, and you can either do generate AI voice, but for me, I want to do a record talking head here. So I'm gonna click on that, and this is what happens when you pop it up. So you hit the record button here, just to hit record. It's gonna give you a little countdown. Hello everyone, here I am in Canva doing a screen record. So you can see my screen right here on top of my voice, or you know, my face and top of voice here. And this is what it looks like when you are recording here. So once you're done, just hit done, and then I'll show you what options you have afterwards. So once you hit save and exit from the screen recording, this will pop up again. This is the screen recording right here. You can move around this if you want to, you know, resize it, and then you can also change the shape as well. If this is a circle, which I like to have, you can also have a square here. It's just like any other type of video. We can hit the edit as well. Move, like if you want background mover or change the filters, you can do that here. So a lot of cool options with a screen recording here. So definitely doable in Canva, and a nice little feature to have, especially when you're doing presentations. That's it for today. Most of these features were hits, one was not. And remember, both Adobe Express and Canva are great creative tools. Use what you like the most. Which Adobe Express features can you do in Canva? Part 2. If you're new to this series, please check out part 1 in the links below and also up here. Pretty much what I'm doing is seeing if I could take these Adobe Express features from this awesome video and replicate them in Canva. In part 1, I was able to do these 4 features successfully, and 1 not so much. And today I'll try to test out these 5 features in Canva, so let's get started. So here we are in Canva right now. I'm just in my little test project here. And so the first feature is called table formatting spreadsheets. Spoiler alert, this is totally something you can do in Canva in a couple of ways here. So I have this blank presentation here, but I'm actually gonna go click on this down arrow or up arrow. And then there's something called sheets here. I'm gonna click on that, and you can see that there's a spreadsheet right here already. So this is where you're able to do like those Excel or those like Google Sheets type of formatting here. You can do this, numbers, everything, all that good stuff here. But another way to do tables, you know, these table spreadsheets is also, I'm gonna go back to here to a blank presentation. I'm gonna go down to quick actions and then tables. So let me do that right now. So right down here is quick actions. I'm gonna click on it, and I'm gonna put table. Hit that. And I'm gonna select how big the table I want. Let me just do a small one here, a 3x3. You're gonna see it's right there. So you can do, this is kind of like your spreadsheet. You can put in input numbers in here, letters, anything. If you want to like merge cells, you can totally do that. Just highlight 2 cells. So you can see that purple ring around these 2 cells here. Right click on it and you go merge cells. You're also able to like format it as well by changing colors if you wanted to. its blank color background, I could change it to blue. Here's the text that I put in here. It's kind of hard to see, so what I could also do is change around the color here as well, and then bold it and make it bigger so you can see it. So tables and spreadsheet is totally something you could do within a Canva. Really easy to do. Just go to that quick action menu, or you do a spreadsheet as well. So yeah, great feature to have in Canva. So the next feature I'm going to get into is something called carousel posts, and in that video talked about making a card maker. So I'm up here in design. I'm going to look up cards, like birthday cards, and you can totally see all the different types of cards you could have. You click on one of these templates here and you have birthday card. It also talked about like kind of different formats within the project, and that's one of the things that was a new feature in Canva earlier this year. So it used to be that you could only do like one type of format for each project, where like, you know, a video or a poster to one for one certain project. But now you see here, like I have all these different types of these different projects here, or different types of formats in each one of these slides here or pages. So you can see all the different types of formats you can do within this project here. So I can do Excel spreadsheet, a document, presentation, videos, social media posts. So this is, I think, what he's alluding to, that you're able to do different types of formats within the pages in one project. So I think this is totally doable in Canva. Correct me if I'm wrong again, but yeah, this is a really cool tool to have when you want to do like a carousel post. You know, each page it has a different type of format. So yeah, totally doable. So the next feature here is something called generate video from image here. It's like one of those big features that are across a lot of different AI programs out there. And so Canva is no different. And what it is I have an image here and I'm making into like a motion video here. From what I can tell, and correct me if I'm wrong again, there's no free option even in the pro version for this, but it is available. So what I would do if I wanted to do it is go into apps here. I would type in AI image to video, and you're gonna get a lot of these different types of apps here. I'm just gonna click on this first one here just because it sounds exactly what I need here, AI image to video. Click on that. So right here on the left hand side, I could go either do a video prompt, or I can use selected image, which is right there, an image, aspect ratio, duration. But the thing is, when I hit generate, look all the way down here, use 5 of 0 AI images here. So that's where it is an added cost here. I could upgrade and get more credits if I wanted to right here, but it's one of those things that's gonna be an added cost. It is doable in Canva. I could hit upgrade and get more credits. Again, it's gonna be an added cost again, but it is doable. Just one of those things is, if you use Canva, just be aware that right now it is one of those things that will be an added cost, even if you do have the professional version. All right, so the next feature is something called animate elements outside the page. And so there's a different way to do it in Canva. At least within Adobe Express, there's a checkbox where you could have an element like this, or a text box that would just kind of slowly move onto the page from outside the page here, and that was a checkbox. But here in Canva, it's a little bit different. So I could so I have a text box here. I'm gonna select it, hit animate, and then to have it move from like left to right, I can kind of go here to pan. You can kind of see here that I can change around these options. There's no option right now for like start outside the page and go to the middle here. But the workaround with that is, if I go over here to custom animation, what I'm gonna do is I'll move this text box right off the page. You wanna make sure it's a little bit is hanging out or hanging onto the page here. Hit create an animation. I'm gonna start dragging it to the center here, and you kind of see that purple line being created. And then you can mess around with the speed here. If you wanna go fast or slow. This is the original movement. I could move it to like smooth, and this is what it will look like if I hit play. So yeah, this is a text box that starts outside of the page and goes to the center of the page. So totally doable within Canva as well. So the last feature I'm going to be covering today is something called line charts, which is totally something you can do in Canva. And let me show you how to do it here. But if you scroll to the left hand side, go all the way down to the bottom, we're looking for something called charts. Hit charts. I'm gonna do a single line chart right here. Click on that guy, and you see this is what comes up here. If you wanted to obviously customize it for your own data, you can totally do that. Just when double click on it. When I double click on it, you got the data table right here. So instead of saying item 1, I can just say yes, no, or new. And then you kind of see how everything is adjusted here down at the bottom for your formatting. And you also change like the data values as well. So I can go 1, 2, 3. So you see the kind of the table changing as I do this here. So this is what it looks like. So I could also customize it too. So if I go over to customize, I can have all these different options here. So this access label, it's checked. Now it's not appearing because I unchecked it here. Add a title, so I can do this as well. You see that this label's up here, this title's up here. So I also added a subtitle right there. So you're gonna see everything that I can do here and all these different types of setting changes and customized changes as well. So yes, absolutely you can do a line chart within Canva. That's it for today. So 4 of these features were similar to Adobe Express, 1 was not. Remember, both Adobe Express and Canva are both great creative tools. Use what you like the most. Which Adobe features can you do in Canva? Part 3. If you're new to this series, check out the links below to watch parts 1 and 2. Pretty much what I'm doing is seeing if I can take these Adobe Express features from this awesome video, replicate them in Canva. So far, these are the features I'm able to do successfully, and these not so much. And for today, I'll be covering these 5 features, so let's get started. So here I am in Canva in my test project, and so the first feature I'm going to cover from that video is something called content media clicks. This has to do with presentations and how to move through your presentation, but with this project here, let's just say it's a big presentation. What I'm going to do is hit present here, and then there's different ways to like move through the slides, if you will, or through the pages. You go either through this present full screen here, and it says right here present full screen at your own pace, but then there's also this autoplay, and what autoplay is you set the speed to automatically play. So if this video down here is a 5-second video, it's going to play the 5 seconds and then move on to the next page and then the next, and so on and so on. So this is what it looks like when I do autoplay here. I'm going to hit present, and so it's going to run be on this slide here, then it's going to automatically move through the next slide here. This is a 5-second video here. This is one of those AI videos, and it keeps on moving through. But also if you have this here, you could also click through it too. So you kind of click through this one as well. So you could have it on autoplay, but you can also click through as well. So yes, for Canva, you could definitely have this autoplay feature that moves you through the slide automatically. Great feature to have when you have like a presentation to do. So yes, great feature to have. So the next feature is a team calendar feature. From what I found, it is available in Canva, but it's one of those features that you have to have an added cost for, but I'll kind of show you what it looks like here. So you go over to apps, hit apps. So I typed in calendar here, and the one that I want to look for is something called this one right here. It's the event calendar. I'm going to click on it here, hit open, and I'm going to give it a calendar name. You see this is the kind of the calendar. This is the template right here. Double click to interact. But you could also do manage calendar right here. So I'm going to do that. Hit continue. Now it's going to take me over to this other sheet where I'm able to kind of edit it around, so I can add my first event to kind of see like what it looks like here. But then if you want to like kind of, you know, have more advanced features or more upgraded features, you have to hit here, and this is where the added cost is. So that's one of those things. It is an added cost. And being able to share it as well to your team if you do use Canva as a team. So it is available, but again, remember it is an added cost to use this feature here, but it looks really great feature to have, especially if you're using Canva as a bigger team. So the next feature I'm going to cover from that video is drawing shapes, which is something you can do in Canva. So over here on the left hand side, you're going to look over for tools, and then you go over to draw here. So this is all the options you have to make. So you can do shapes here. Let's say I want to do a square. I could change it around, edit it around, no color, change the border color if I wanted to. Over here, kind of see what it looks like here. So I can change the color around. Let me see other kind of drawings that I could do here. You can do scribbles as well, and then change around different types of weight, transparency, colors, all that good stuff. Sticky notes, text, tables are also here as well. That's great. But yeah, lines. So if you want to do like a certain type of drawing, you know, freehand drawing, you're able to do these select ones here. I think the one in Adobe Express kind of went into like different types of textures you could do. For what I can tell, especially like, you know, these lines here, it's only different width and the colors you're able to do at this time. So maybe it's one of those enhancements that we made for Canva later down the road, but you are able to draw, just not with like those textures that Adobe Express has. They have a few more different types of like benefits or features when it comes to drawing these types of shapes here. So, but in the end, you're able to draw shapes if that's something you need for your design, or draw freehand shapes, which is great. So the next feature from the video is about resizing layouts here. So let's say I had this video here, it's like a 16:9 aspect ratio. I want to change it to like a vertical. It's something you can do in Canva. And so how I'm going to do that here is actually just go with the resize and find like an Instagram reel. And that's what this is here. This is like the vertical orientation here. I'm gonna click on that and go copy or resize this design. Let it do its thing. So here is the resize shape right now. So we'll change it to use of all the vertical white space here for the Instagram reel, so you can see what it looks like. Here's a little clip of the video. So that is resizing layouts, and the thing to note here is it resized the whole layout. So before everything was kind of horizontally orientation, but now everything's vertical here. So that's just one thing to note when it comes to resizing it. It's going to do all the different pages here. So the last feature I'm going to cover is something called scene view, and what I think that Adobe video was trying to cover was just being able to like edit your videos from this bottom ribbon here. And you kind of see what this is my preferred view that I have when it comes to like editing, just because I have a bigger, you know, when I click on one of these bottom thumbnails here, you can see what the bigger page looks like here. But I could flip through different type of page layouts here. So there's this one, the thumbnails. It hides it, so you get the bigger view as well. So if I was on a page here, there's some different ways I could edit this around here. And so I think that's what this video is talking about, just being able to kind of edit things. So all I have to do is click on it here. You gotta see it right down here that pops up for this text box here, so I could change around like the duration of it. So this total page is 5 seconds, but I can make it like a 3 or 3.5 second type text box, so it'll show up later. So you can see like right there, it'll show up. So those are different ways to kind of edit this when it comes to this view here, which is nice. But yeah, I think it's totally doable within Canva. So that's it for today. All these features were doable in Canva in their own different way. Remember, both Adobe Express and Canva are both great creative tools, so use what you like the most. So here we go. Which Adobe Express features can you do in Canva? Part 4, the finale. If you're new to this series, please check out the links below for the previous videos in this series. Pretty much what I'm doing is seeing if I could take these Adobe Express features from this awesome video and replicate them in Canva. So far, I was able to do these features successfully and these not so much. And for today, I'm gonna try out these last features, so let's get started. All right, so the first feature I'm gonna cover today is something called enhanced speech. And so I'm in my test little project right now. And what I have here is a video file. I think I've done this in the past. It's just an intro video. The voice is actually fine, I think, but I'll kind of walk you through the steps how to enhance it if you wanted to. But this is just a quick snippet of what it sounds like.
Hey there, hope you're doing well.
So I'm gonna right click on the video here. Down here it says extract audio. I'm gonna do that. It's gonna do its thing real quick, and I have a little right here. It's gonna have extract the audio from this video here. And then the really easy part is just to enhance it, is just enhance voice here. Click on it, it's gonna do its thing. And then you see changed colors. I think it goes from a green to a red here, and that just shows that it's been enhanced. You might not notice difference because again, I think the voice was fine. But if you do have something like a little more scratchy or a little more staticky, you would be able to enhance your voice to make it a little bit better. So this is what it sounds like.
Hey there, hope you're doing well.
But yeah, absolutely able to enhance your voice or your speech within Canva here. So a great little tool to have. So the next thing I'm going to cover from the video is something called image dynamic animation. It is definitely a tool that you can use in Canva. I think it's one of the cooler things that you use in Canva actually. So this is actually an image file right here, just a thumbnail. I'm going to hit animate. Well, I selected the picture, hit animate, and there's all these different ways to kind of like animate the or have the image move here. So it talks about like moving it from like left to right. You definitely do that. You have it both on enter, exit, or both, which is great. But I think one of the things that I was talking about was like having it on a continuous loop, like a type of animation, which you can totally do. If you go all the way down here, you do like a flicker, and that's continuous. So along with a pulse here, rotate. So these are the type of animations you can do within Canva for your images, and makes it kind of like pop out a little bit if you want to like emphasize an image on top of like other elements you have there. So these are the things that you can totally do on top of like the regular static type of animation as well. So just the difference is, you know, these ones up here will just be kind of one-time movement animations, but then down here in the add-on effects, you'll have different types of continuous type of animation. It'll keep on going, and you're able to adjust it as well, like intensity, or sometimes you change around the speed as well. But yeah, absolutely you can do dynamic animation within Canva here. So the next feature I'm going to cover from that video is something called generate similar image here. This is an image file of a beach here. And what I want to do is kind of like make different images of this, or little variations here, and kind of, you know, the workaround for Canva at least is to use one of their magic tools, or magic AI tools. So I'll go into that right now. I have this image selected. I'm gonna hit edit. And over here, you're gonna get your Magic Studio, which is a great little tool. Well, a series of great little tools here. So I'm gonna scroll all the way to the right here. You can do Magic Expand to like make the beach bigger, but I'm gonna actually do Magic Edit. And then my brush size, I'm gonna try to select the whole thing here. Let's make a huge brush. There we go. So I'm gonna select this whole thing here. So I pretty much brushed the whole image here. And then what I'm gonna do to edit is add beach toys. And so let's see what happens. So I put in add toys to the beach. I'm gonna hit generate. So this is what the AI tool came up with when I put in add toys to the beach here. It kind of took like creative liberties here, I think, but still the beach background. You have a lot of toys, really cool. And I think this is probably one of the ones that's a little bit more similar to the previous one, but you kind of get the idea of what you can do. I would, prompt a little bit different if I wanted to have that original beach one. But I do like what's here. It's a little more cartoony, but it's a lot more fun to look at as well here. So yeah, absolutely, you're able to like create similar images based off the Magic Edit tool here. So really cool one to have. And then the last feature that I wanted to cover from that video is just about image filters. And then, image filters is one of those kind of standard things when it comes to these types of tools here, but absolutely you can do this in Canva here. You see all these different types of filters you're able to do. So this is like the original untouched one here. I'll go back to edit and go back to filters. And you see all these different types of like filters you can apply to it, a little bright, sandy. So all these really cool ones here. So a lot of filters to choose from. Have fun with it if you like to play around with the filters. But yes, absolutely you can do this in Canva. So that's all the features we're gonna cover today and also for this series. All these features were hits in their own way, just a different way. Remember, Adobe Express and Canva are both great creative tools. Use what you like the most. That's it for this series and hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna have a few more videos at the end screen here you can check out, and remember to keep on creating. See you next time.